Hi folks, welcome back to my channel. In this video today we're going to be looking at a jacket that I bought a couple of months ago, which is the Mountain Equipment Garwhal jacket, and this is intended to be a real world review where I take the jacket out, see how it performs, and the video is split into two parts. The first part is an extremely wet afternoon on the South Downs, and the second part is an average sort of mountain day in the Brecon Beacons. And the idea is to assess the waterproofness of the jacket, how well it breathes, how it functions in general as a jacket across those two scenarios. The video started off with a bit of excitement on the South Downs Way section, in that it was absolutely coming down cats and dogs. And I found that my filming equipment was really struggling to cope with the conditions. But anyway, yeah, let's crack on with the video and see how the jacket performs. My name's John and I make videos on camping, walking and astronomy. If you like what you see in this video, then please check my channel out, as you may find others that interest you there. But in the meantime, let's crack on with this video. I've come out on this absolutely appalling day today to the South Downs to properly test out my new Gore-Tex jacket. It's a Mountain Equipment Garwhal jacket, which is made from Gore-Tex Pack-Lite, so it's a 2.5 layer jacket. And I've been waiting for the weather to turn really bad for quite a while now, and today's absolutely appalling. It's raining cats and dogs and 50-mile-an-hour gusts apparently, so gives me something to look forward to. But it will be a good test of this jacket nonetheless. The jacket I bought from Blacks, and I think it was about £180. The price seems to be between 160 and 190 at the moment. So yeah, we'll see how we get on today with it. As you can see, it is very wet, but that will be a really good test of the waterproof capabilities of this jacket. Well, it's a little bit more sheltered in this woody bit, so yeah, we can have a look at some of the features of the jacket. The hood's got adjustments here and here. There's also an adjustment at the back there, that when you tighten it up means you can cinch the hood right into your head and get full motion out of the hood, so the hood moves with you. In terms of the zip, this is a YKK fully waterproof zip. The zips on the side pocket here and on this side here are described as water resistant rather than waterproof, so you wouldn't want to put anything too valuable in there. And the pockets are located here and here, so this means that they won't interfere with the belt of your rucksack or any harness that you might be using. See here how high the pockets are in relation to the belt on my rucksack. The pocket is big enough to hold a complete OS map and be done up as well. The sleeves are quite long. I think the cut on this jacket is described as alpine fit, but the sleeves do have a velcro sort of cuff closure which enables you to get them sink down pretty well as you want them to. So I then carried on with the walk, but after less than an hour I got a message on my phone upon which I was doing my filming, saying that I'd got a water ingress in the charging stroke microphone port, so I needed to put my phone away. So yeah, that kind of marked the end of the filming for the day, even though I carried on with my walk. So it turned out to be a really challenging walk. I did about 3 hours in the end, although I was only able to film probably about an hour of it. But I guess the really bad conditions were kind of an ideal opportunity really to thoroughly assess the jacket's ability to keep the water out. And I'm pleased to say that it was extremely waterproof. I had no problems with it whatsoever. Of course, on the one hand, Gore-Tex Paclite fabric really has the same waterproof rating as Gore-Tex Pro and normal Gore-Tex. So I would have been a little bit shocked if I'd find it to have been worse than my other Gore-Tex jackets. But overall, yeah, I was very pleased with that. The other thing that I was pleased with was the hood. The fact that I could cinch the hood right down meant that I could move my head from left to right, as you saw, and the hood would go with it. And that's actually not necessarily a given. Mountain equipment are well known for being able to produce really, really good hoods. So yeah, in terms of waterproofness and the hood design, that 3-hour walk in the rain told me that the jacket's very, very good at that. So the next thing really is to see how the jacket performs in terms of breathability. I had no problems in this walk, but again, I wouldn't necessarily have expected to get that. But the breathability and the function of pockets and all that sort of thing. So for that, I wanted to head off to the Brecon Beacons so that I could have a much longer plough up a hill over a longer period of time and see how I heated up in the jacket, how it was able to get rid of any perspiration inside. So yeah, let's move on to part 2 and the Brecon Beacons. Hello folks, well I'm at a place called the Story Arms car park, which sadly isn't a pub, it's an outdoor pursuit centre just over there, and it's in the Brecon Beacons. The great advantage of the Story Arms car park is that it's at about 400 and something metres, and to one side of me over there is a hill called Van Voor, which is about 700 metres, and the other side over there is Corndhu and Pen y Fan. And I wasn't sure which walk to do today, but I think I've decided I'm going to go up Pen y Fan. It's a much more popular walk, so it's likely to be more frequented. But I'm hoping, it's a bit claggy as you can see behind me, I'm hoping that's going to clear and I'll get some decent views. So the object of today really is to do a test of the jacket here. You'll have just seen the waterproofness test that I did in the South Downs, that it passed with flying colours. So now I'm interested in its breathability and its just general ability as a jacket really. So yeah, hopefully you'll come along with me. You start climbing pretty well as soon as you leave the road. It's a fairly easy gradient, but soon enough it was time to stop and get rid of my fleecy layer as it was getting a little bit warm. The route up Pen y Fan from this side is very straightforward, almost like a motorway. You can't really get lost on it. And behind you as you go up is Van Voor, which is a target of mine for the winter. So what I'm trying to find out today is how the relatively pared down nature of this jacket compares with my other jackets, and whether I can do without some of the extra features that my other jackets have. This has got 2 pockets away from a hip belt, which is good. It's whether I need a third pocket, like to stash maps and things in, like an extra Napoleon pocket if you like, and whether I miss having an internal pocket. So yeah, that plus the breathability is what I'm really interested in today. Started to get some nice views as I moved higher up. This is on the ridge approaching Corndhu, and that down there was the location on my first ever wild camp about 30 years ago. This is the summit of Corndhu. about 800 metres, and it's quite busy up here today, as you can see. So the last time I was at Corndhu, it was a February, and howling a gale and absolutely freezing. I remember putting a glove down to fish something out of my bag, and the glove just blowing off the side of the hill. So I had to use a sock on that, the spare one that I'd got on that hand, to get myself down. Anyway, over there is Penny Van, so that's where I'm going to head in a minute. It's a pretty steep drop off, as you can see. So the path to Penny Van is that way. Looks like Penny Van summit's well and truly in the cloud. First time up here for a long time. Been really nice to get out, even if it is a really long day from Sussex. It was time to get away from the crowds a bit, put my fleece jumper back on now that I wasn't moving, and sit and have a little think about something to have for lunch. All too soon it was time to check the map. I could see a big bank of cloud rolling in, so I wanted to make sure I knew exactly where I was and in what direction I was going. And soon enough the cloud rolled in. My route home avoided the summit of Corndhu and went down the other side, and soon I was out of the cloud and approaching the car park at the bottom of the hill. So let's move back at the car now. It took me about 3.5 hours round trip, including filming time and lunch, so I'm sort of quite happy with that. I did a bit of a circular route in the end. I came down a different way, bypassing the summit of Corndhu to come back, and that was a little bit quieter than the way up. I wore this jacket all the way round, regardless of whether I needed to or not. It was a mixture of a little bit of sort of mizzle or light drizzle, if you like, in the cloud and mist, and just cloud. Temperature was fairly mild. It's about 14 degrees here at the car park, was probably about 10 on the summit of Penny Van, and it's a fair old slog up the hill. Even though you've been given a head start here, it's still something like 500 metres or 550 metres of ascent on this route. So what I was doing was keeping the jacket on and regulating my temperature by taking my fleece on and off, and I wanted to do that deliberately to see if I'd overheat inside the jacket. I'm pleased to say I didn't. I mean, I did get warm, because you can't walk uphill for an hour and a half and not get warm, but no more so than in my kind of standard 3-layer jacket. As regards pockets, I didn't really miss having an extra sort of mat pocket and an inside pocket, so that was good. But I'm going to get myself sorted out and head off home now. I've got about a 4-hour trip to get back home, and I'll fill you in tomorrow with my sort of thoughts overall about this jacket. So yeah, until I get back home, I'll see you later. Well, what a fantastic day out I had yesterday. Sussex all the way to the Brecon Beacons and back is just about doable for me. It was a 13-hour day, but it really was worth it. It's ages since I've got up to nearly 900 meters because of all the lockdowns and stuff that we've had. So it was a real kind of breath of fresh air for me. And I had to remember that my main reason for going was actually to make this little video. But anyway, in summary, looking at the different features of the jacket and its function, my first little trip out to the South Downs showed me that the waterproofness of the jacket is well up to scratch with my other Gore-Tex jackets that I've got. And I previously mentioned that I'm dead pleased with the hood and the way that follows my head round. And I also often have trouble with walking in the rain, in that my glasses get wet and then I can't see anything and I have to keep sort of cleaning my glasses all the time. The peak on the Garwhal jacket seemed to protect my glasses, so I had no problems like that whatsoever. So that was a real bit of a Brucey bonus. The zip is a little bit stiff, I've noticed. It's the first zip of its type that I've had. Usually mine have got storm flaps over them rather than being a waterproof zip. And I have tested other zips in the shop that I work in, and I think that this is just a function of this design of waterproof zip. I've read a couple of reviews on the internet that suggest that they do kind of ease up a bit over time, but that was just one thing I noticed. It's not a particular issue. Jacket seemed to perform okay in terms of breathability. I didn't really have any problems with sweating up too much inside the jacket. You get warm obviously, but you will in any jacket going up a hill for a fair amount of time, but didn't appear on the face of it to work any worse than my other jackets. Although allegedly Paclite is not supposed to be quite as breathable as, say, Gore-Tex Pro or even standard Gore-Tex when you're looking at 3-layer, you know, the top quality jackets, if you like. But I can't say I really noticed any problems. The weight of the jacket's very low. I might be wrong, but it's sub 400 grams, I think, kind of 370, something like that. So that's the light bit of Paclite, and it also packs down into a small package, so it's easy to carry. It's far more than a emergency waterproof though. It is a jacket you can wear all day with full confidence. The fact that it's a Paclite jacket and it's light and it packs down small, that's achieved by having thinner materials basically. That's how it's made. So it's not particularly likely to be as robust as a 3-layer jacket. And many jackets nowadays have reinforced sections on the arms and round the back where the pack waist belts go. So I wouldn't expect this to be as durable as a 3-layer jacket. So if you're planning on carrying heavy packs and that kind of thing, then perhaps this jacket wouldn't have as much of a lifespan. Equally, if you're going to be in an abrasive environment where you're crammed up against rocks, scraping up against granite and all that kind of thing, then it probably isn't going to have the lifetime that a 3-layer jacket would have either. So for, say, mountaineering use, unless you were doing fast and light mountaineering, it's not going to have a particularly long lifespan. In terms of the pockets, I found on the Brecon Beacons that the 2 pockets here were more than adequate for my needs. They were kept well away from the waist belt of the rucksack, so I had easy access. They're quite big pockets, to be fair, so you can get loads of stuff in them. I think where they might struggle would be in the winter time, if you've got thick gloves and a thick hat that you kind of want instant access to, rather than keeping it, you know, in your pack over your shoulder. So that kind of tallies up with Paclite probably being a 3-season jacket or a 4-season fast and light type jacket. If you'd have had a Napoleon pocket that you could have stuck a map in, that would have saved you an extra pocket to put hats and gloves in. So again, if you're in an extreme environment in the winter, then probably 3-layer is better for you than the pack light of the mountain equipment Garwhal jacket. I didn't particularly miss not having an internal pocket. I do find that a little bit useful on one of my other jackets, in that I'll put my keys and stuff in there, but I didn't really miss it too much. And the rucksack that I typically use sort of helps out with the storage side of things, because on the waist belt I've got 2 kind of expanding pockets that I can put all sorts of bits and pieces in, that sort of helps take the load off the jacket, if you like. But overall, my summary of this jacket, given that it's Mountain Equipment's least expensive Gore-Tex jacket, is it's brilliantly waterproof. It's certainly, from my tests, very breathable. It may not be as breathable as the top flight jackets. It's very comfortable to wear, very light, packs away to next to nothing, and I think it looks great. Mountain Equipment's Alpine Fit gets rid of surplus material on the jacket, but it still leaves you with enough space to get insulation layers. I can get 2 under mine. I was wearing a fleece on and off yesterday, but I also had a lightweight insulated jacket that I can also fit in underneath, and I picked the size that's true to me. I'm a small in mountain equipment world, whether it's a t-shirt or a fleece, and this small jacket had enough space under it for me to put plenty of insulation. So yeah, for the money, cracking jacket, and yeah, I'd heartily recommend it. So on that note, I shall bid you cheerio, and I'll see you next time. Take care.